Driver blows through a stale green light, causes our client to need surgery, results in a six-figure settlement. Hey, I'm Shane from Shane's Law. One of the things we like to do is talk about our client victories. These are victories we get for our clients. Basically, we thought it was a great settlement. Client got fairly compensated, got everything they need. And Carrie today has one of those we wanted to talk about. Carrie, tell us about Miss K's accident. What happened?
Well, she was driving in South Carolina, not in North Carolina, and she was hit by a car that ran a red light, took out the front part of her car and side of her car. A lot of damage to her vehicle.
So just basically one of those situations that I'll say at least new drivers worry about, even those of us experienced, things totally beyond their control. You're just going through the light when you're supposed to and then just hammer it. Is that?
That's correct. We see this all the time, working these cases every day, and it actually makes myself hesitant to go through what they call a stale green light because I'm always afraid of what's going to happen from the side, and that's what happened to Miss K.
I was going to say, I've had that same conversation with my wife.
Yeah.
Light turns green. I'm like, yes, but.
Yes.
In this case, there was a but. So what kind of injuries did Miss K have at the scene?
Bad injuries to her neck and her back. More so back, immediately felt it going into her legs, needed to get her to a doctor right away, and an orthopedic, not a primary care doctor. She needed someone to see her for her back.
Yeah, one of those that you say that immediately running into the legs, that's one of the signs of a herniated disc or bulging disc. One of the things that we always worry about. In this particular case, I'm going to guess that she did get care.
She did get care, and she had exactly what you just mentioned, a really bad herniated disc that needed treatment by an orthopedic, not only doctor, but surgeon.
Ultimately, what happened to her? What kind of treatment did she get?
Well, she went to the orthopedic. They started with an MRI. They tried some injections, and when those injections weren't successful, they went ahead and did a surgery.
What was the resolution of the case? Were we able to get her something that made her happy?
Yes. Not only did she get a surgery, which I was happy we got her set up with a doctor that could do that, she faced a dead end with her Medicaid. Medicaid wasn't going to let her see her orthopedic because it was a car accident case, so she really needed some help getting to good treatment. And I was really happy that we were able to put her in touch with a doctor that could treat her and ultimately heal her.
Okay, wow. And at the end of the case, how did she feel?
She felt much better. The disc was repaired. We were able to get the policy limits from the at-fault driver, and then we were also able to get an underinsured coverage from the car that she was in. And what made this case a little bit different than North Carolina, in South Carolina, we're allowed to stack the policies.
Okay.
So we were able to stack that at-fault vehicle and the car that she was in, and we got her into a nice six-figure settlement.
Would it be fair to say to any of our South Carolina listeners that you would highly recommend they have underinsured motorist insurance?
Absolutely. I can't stress that enough. And I actually had it come up this weekend. My college roommate came to visit me, and she was in a car accident in Florida. We were talking about her case. I just found out she only had $15,000 in underinsured coverage. She was hit by someone who only has $10,000 of coverage.
Oh, wow.
And her medical bills right now are over $30,000. She had no idea about underinsured coverage. I explained it to her, and she got on the phone with her agent and said, I need to get some underinsured coverage.
Just for people who worry about it, I know a lot of people are worried about car insurance and how much it costs and any extra thing whatsoever they're worried about. Do you know, does uninsured motorist insurance cost a lot of money in comparison to liability and collision, or is it usually pretty cheap?
In my experience, as you increase your limits, when they call you to give you a quote, it's usually a matter of $5 a month, $10 a month. I think where people get into a problem is the person that's selling you the insurance wants to give you, quote, the best rate. We see those commercials every day. We can get you the lowest rate, the lowest rate. Well, they're selling you the absolute minimum that has no coverage because they want to have that lowest rate. When in fact, if you can ask the right questions and add just a few dollars a month, you won't regret it. God forbid something happen.
And I think that's the case for Miss K. She had a great policy, lots of UM coverage, and because of that, you're able to get her a six-figure settlement.
Correct. The policy coverage was greater in the underinsured than it was the person that hit her.
At the close of the case, how did Miss K feel?
She was so happy that we got her the surgery. When I told her she was getting a bunch of cash too, she was elated.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's what we always want in every single case.
It was a good case, and I'm a happy client, and I'm glad we helped.
Do you know what Miss K was going to do with some of the money you were able to get her?
I didn't ask her that question. She was just so happy to get the money. I didn't ask her that question. Perhaps I should have, but she didn't offer it, and we had a good conversation, and she was so happy with her doctors. I didn't ask her what she was going to do with it.
All right. I'm Shane for Shane's Law. Once again, if you're in pain, call Shane. and like and subscribe down below to see more client victories forthcoming from Shane Smith Law. Give us a call, 980-999-9999. Let us show you we're the best lawyer for you.
In pain, so I call Shane. 980-999-9999. In pain, call Shane.